Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Sorry for the slight delay here. All right, so we're going to be doing some stuff. I'll show you everything that I've been working on yesterday afternoon, and we'll get into, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I've been tweaking the map, taking a lot of your feedback about how there's not enough combats or it's too easy to get a very long string of just pure upgrades, and you know, stuff like sometimes the nodes that are connected to the starting position are not really that great. So I've been addressing all that stuff, and you're gonna love the approach that I took for fixing up some of that stuff. But before I get into that, Alchemortis is available for wishlisting. It's the first line in the description below, and the playtest is still running. So the playtest will be over on Monday, and then it will be several weeks to a month or two before the next playtest is available. So play it while you can. You can go to the Steam page and just click this request access, and then you can leave your feedback in the Discord, which is also linked in the description below. If you want, you can also support me financially through Patreon. There's a couple of tiers here. You get a number of perks. The top tier gets you unlimited access to my course content, as well as credits in the in-game credit screen for Alchemortis when it launches. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale if you want to learn how to build games in the Godot engine. So all those options are available if you want to support me in any way. And of course, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. All right. So I'll show you what's going on here in just a second. I'm a little bit scrambled, but that's all right. Anyway, hello, Emerson. Welcome back. You're last. Is this like a... I don't even know. I was going to make a joke that doesn't make any sense. Welcome back, though. Hello, interesting. Good morning. Hello, Clickertail. Welcome, welcome. Hello, V. Welcome back. Asymmetrics. Welcome. Good to see you again. Fantastic Friday with my favorite Firebelly fanbase and friends. That's some alliteration if I've ever seen it. Welcome back. Hello, Meep. Good to see you. I'm doing well. How are you doing, V? Breckheck, welcome. Beautiful sunny Friday in Alabama, so I can't complain. It's been too sunny here. We haven't had rain in a while. I demand rain. Also, it's been too warm. It needs to be like 50 degrees right now. Anyway, hello, Rookie Tookie. Welcome back. I was just about to update Chrome and the stream started. Uh-oh. Hopefully you don't get hacked. I'm just kidding. Probably not going to happen. Hello, Zephylinox. Zephylinox. Welcome. Need an early artifact. I could do an artifact. Do you want to do an artifact today? We could do an artifact today. Our wish list going well. Do you want me to pull up the wish? Last time I checked, the wish list numbers was 609. But I wonder if I could just pull it up really quick. Let's see. Let's see. Alchemortis is, yeah, so it's got 10 more wish lists since the last time I looked. So 619 wish lists. which is not bad. We got to pump that number up, but there's plenty of time to do that still with the dev logs and stuff that I'll be creating. So hello, Jackie Daytona. Welcome back. The True Hairless Wonder. Welcome. Good to see you. Chris, good morning. That alliteration was purely coincidental. I'm sure it was, yeah. Zeph works too. Okay, I'll probably say Zeph because Zephylonox has a lot of syllables. But it is a cool name. All right, what am I doing? So the map. So I redid a lot of my map generation to make the node placement a little bit more rule-based, because previously the way the node placement worked is it would just read from this loot table here, and it would just basically just randomly select things from the loot table. And so a lot of times you just get weird, strings of no combat, or you could get like 3 max healths right in a row together, or you could get like a string of grow boards, and it just felt very uneven. So I actually moved, you're gonna love this, some of you are gonna love this, I actually moved to using wave function collapse also for the map nodes to make it a little bit more rule-based. So just to summarize how this is working, the wave function collapse here for the map is, it works basically the same as, you'd expect a wave function collapse to work, but I have guaranteed events. So I guarantee that there's at least 4 artifact nodes on the map. I guarantee that there's at least 6 shops on the map, and I guarantee that there's at least 5 grow boards. Now in practice, more than this gets chosen. Actually, in all my tests, it never had only the minimum amount, so it typically ends up adding 3 to 5 more artifacts and a similar amount of 3 to 5 more shops, and also around 10 grow boards on the map. That's going to have to be something that we test, of course, but so it places those guaranteed nodes first, and then the way that the rules work is that 2 of the same node type cannot appear as neighbors to each other. Now, I may change that. I may make that a rare occurrence, because sometimes it is fun to be able to hit like a booster and then a booster again. Again, we're going to have to playtest that. But for now, in this iteration of the map, the 2 of the same nodes cannot be neighbors to each other. So you're not going to be able to get an artifact and then another artifact immediately. And as a matter of fact, when I generate the guaranteed artifacts, I am making sure that they're at least 7 hops away from each other. That's the guaranteed ones. Then other ones can get peppered in at various distances from each other, but initially to start, they're always 7 or more nodes away from each other. So that spaces them out a little bit more. You have to go hunting for them. And then, what else am I doing? I'm making sure that 2 shops are not placed within 4 nodes of each other. I'm making sure that, let's see. Yeah, so if we're looking at the start node, the neighbors of the start node are guaranteed to be either upgrade card, booster, or enchant. So there's not going to be a combat right up against the start node. There's not going to be a shop right up against the start node. So that makes it so that way you can get immediate benefit from wherever you choose to move from the start. So you can go right into a booster, you could go right into upgrade card, you could go right into an enchant. The enchant may change. Again, a lot of this is going to change as I add more event types, but anyway, so the map generation is now a lot more rule-based, so it ends up being a little bit more sensible. Now, admittedly, I haven't really play tested this yet, so it's going to have to see, but I can just go through the map and show you sort of what that results in here. So you can see right off the start here, I've got enchant, I've got upgrade card, and then there's going to be a lot more combats too, so that's one thing that I didn't cover here. So I forgot how exactly the combat works. Oh, right, so what I do is I make sure that there's no, so I don't know how to phrase this. The rule is a little bit weird. I think the rule is this. The way that the rule ends up working is that there has to be a combat node within 3 jumps of every other type of node that's placed. So if I look at any node on the map, there's always at least 1 combat within a 3 node radius. Now, in practice, it ends up being far more combats than that, but it makes it so that way there's very rarely a string of multiple upgrades before you hit a combat here. So if I'm just looking at this path, so this one is kind of weird. Again, the rule is weird because if I look at, so this is a string of, what is that? 5 nodes that you don't end up hitting a combat, but each of these nodes has at least one combat within 3 jumps of it. So there's a combat here, there's a combat here. If I look at this one, there's a combat there, there's a combat there. So I think if I really wanted to prevent like 4 jumps of straight up upgrades, I would actually need to do a more sophisticated check to actually like place combats to break chains of 4. But I think for now it's a fine rule. It ends up creating a lot more combats, and generally speaking, the combats end up blocking a lot of the progression that you'd want to get. So I could go this way and get 5 upgrades, but when I'm here, oh, I could do 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I might need to change that rule a little bit because I could just go all the way through here. That also might just be a lucky, that might also just be a lucky generation if I look at this now. This might be something that I have to tweak, but so you can see here, there's a string of 4, and then I have to hit a combat. There's a string of 3 here, or 4, and then, or 5, and then I have to hit a combat. So probably going to have to modify that rule a little bit, but generally speaking, there's a lot more combats on the map now, so that should make the game a little bit more engaging. And we'll see, because I don't really want to like artificially say, no, you can't get more than 3 upgrades before you get a combat. But I do think that these long strings of upgrades should be rarer. So it feels, number one, it will feel better when you can hit a long string of upgrades without combat. But number 2, you know, having to go through combats should hopefully present more meaningful choices. So anyway, that's how the map works. Now, hello Mark, welcome, welcome. Imagine doing all the work for Alchemortis in a month. That's what I'm doing for the HG Jam. All right, good luck. Using what wave function collapse? Yeah, you'll get more wishlist here at TikToker now. Yeah, I got 3 views on my TikTok, so that's great. Wave function collapse on a beautiful day like today. The absolute audacity, seriously. Magic word. Okay, thanks for joining, Mark. Does it have starting point rules? Yes, it does, yeah. Are you using wave function collapse library, your own flavor of it? I mean, wave function collapse, it's got such a pretentious name for how simple it is. Like the entire wave function collapse algorithm here is just this. So I don't know how many lines that is. So it goes from line 281 to 408. So what is that? Like 130 node or 130 lines or something? Is that right? Or did I just... No, that's right. Something around there. So it's like that whole wave function collapse algorithm is 130 lines of code. It's not... And a lot of this is just enforcing like certain rules. Because all it is basically is you just like, you say, okay, every node on the map can have every possible event type, and then you find the node with the lowest entropy, which is the fewest number of probabilities, or the fewest number of events. And then when you place that node, you update all of its neighbors or all nodes in a certain radius based on your rules, right? So if I place a shop, what I do is I say, okay, get all the nodes within a 4 radius and remove the event type shop from those nodes. And then what the wave function collapse does is on the next iteration, it finds the node with the fewest number of possibilities, and then it chooses an event for that node. And then the collapsing happens again, and so on and so forth. And so what essentially just ends up happening is the wave function collapse just chooses the node with the fewest potential options, and it collapses that one. And then it just iteratively does that. It's very, very simple. It sounds super pretentious, but that's basically the entire crux of the algorithm. It's very simple once you wrap your mind around it. It's very simple, but very effective, I would say. You just need to, like, obviously with your own gameplay rules, you need to like tweak and see what creates a good outcome, but hello, Zombie Biscuit, welcome back. I was thinking it might be interesting, instead of starting with skellies, what if you could always start at a notoriety free booster and you start your run build different every time? Yeah, I think that would be... That would be cool. We could definitely experiment with that. I think what I would do is I would probably... Yeah, maybe, so the start here, maybe I just move it down here. So there's a start, and then it's got a single path to a booster that's a 0 notoriety. And then, yeah, and then the booster there can branch off into those other guaranteed types, you know? I think that could work. How should I name my algo to make it sound smart? Super smart, sophisticated, self-generating stuff algo, yeah. The quantum collapser, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, let's write that down. So experiment with notoriety free booster as start node. So anyway, hello Rin, welcome back. Tried the playtest yesterday, had a blast, was fun to hear the sounds finally. Awesome, yeah, I'm glad you liked it. And thank you to everyone who has provided feedback. I've been implementing and writing down a lot of the feedback, and I think the game is shaping up a lot better. Still got to figure out how to do. Oh, did I show you guys the battle trumpet? Well, there's the battle trumpet. I think we did. Did we do the quiver? Yeah, we did the quiver on stream. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm kind of not, I think starting with a booster is a good idea, but I also kind of want to do, multiple playable characters that you can unlock. And I wanted to make it so that the different player characters start with a different initial inventory. So the typical necromancer guy will just start with 2 skeletons, but then maybe there's a different necromancer who starts with more poison oriented stuff or whatever. So that could be another way to kickstart your build. And I could do both too. It could be, you know, you choose your character that you want to play as. The character has different starting health, different starting cards. Maybe even there's a character that starts with an artifact or something. And then you could also have the notoriety free booster that allows you to get your build kickstarted as well. So I think there's a lot of ways to do it, but you know, this is the kind of stuff that can only really take shape as the game develops. But yeah, I'm just going to give this a quick play test, see how this map feels. And again, this is going to be now with all of the tiers for the different nodes too. So this is going to prevent you from being able to get runaway super soldier skeletons that are tier 5 with 4 echoes on them. That is still going to be possible. It's just not going to be possible until you get to like the last region when you can reach the higher tier nodes. Why is that generating a cat 3? Anyway, let's just turn up the speed max. Tide method implosion, battle trumpet, that's new. Do you have any plans to add some sort of meta progression? Yes. I've talked about this before. I kind of want to do a battle pass-esque meta progression system, and it's not a paid battle pass. I'm just saying, like with a battle pass in like a competitive online game, you know, you complete certain objectives and you get experience, and as you level up, you get new unlocks, right? So I'm thinking that would be kind of an interesting thing to introduce into like a single player roguelike, where as you play, you get certain experience. Maybe there's certain types of challenges, like, you know, deal 1,000 poison damage or whatever, and you get an XP boost, and then it's sort of like a linear upgrade progression. Because, I mean, the way that's typically handled is you get like a meta progression currency, and then you go into a meta progression shop, and then you buy some meta progression items. I think it would be interesting to experiment with having like a level up mechanic where you unlock stuff as you level. And it could even be a mix of both, right? It could be like you level up and you gain meta currency, and then you can spend the meta currency. I kind of do think that I want to do something like games like Slay the Spire have, though, where there's like a daily run or a daily challenge, and it's just like, you know, it just uses the current date as a seed or whatever, so everyone plays the same daily challenge. And the daily challenge could be like, you know, like I said, deal 1,000 poison damage or heal 1,000 health or whatever. I've got 20, let's see, minion critical chances increased by 20%. Let's buy that. I'm gonna sell this, sell that. Mausoleum key. Might as well buy that. So now I'm in a situation where I can't go anywhere but combats. I think I want to go this way. Reward should be proportional to the risk, like entering a bunch of combat nodes should give rewards higher than non-combat nodes. Maybe you can make the combat upgrade nodes hybrid combat upgrade nodes. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have certain combat nodes that are blocking a type of upgrade. So imagine you have to fight a combat before you get into an alchemy, but it's like the same node. There could also be special combat nodes where it's like, after you beat this combat node, you get to loot an enemy card or something, you know? I'm gonna alchemize these things. Alchemize those. 5 turns. Oh, that's a... Oh, I didn't mean to take that, but that's all right. It's a legendary. Yeah, this is already feeling a lot more interesting because I could go here and get that board upgrade, but then I have to fight through all of these combats to get anywhere close to more upgrades. Or I could go this way and get that other one. Let's see. 3, 4, 3, 4. Yeah, this feels a lot more interesting to me. Fight through these combats. Well, the grow board, I mean, that would help, but I don't have another card to place on my board right now, so I may just go this way and hope that there's a booster up here somewhere, because there's no boosters out here. So I don't know if it's worth to go like this way and then up. I might as well just go this way. Die, prisoner. Combat still feels a little bit not balanced, right? Like, this board is supposedly, I think this was a tier 1 board, but look at that setup. It's like crazy. Almost died to a tier 1 board with a legendary card. Shouldn't happen. But anyway. Oh, shoot. I think I chose the wrong way. Well, not actually, because I can go here and then down here. And I may even just hit that checkpoint to trigger the boss. Let's do that. So combat still needs to be worked on. It's really hard. Maybe it's not hard and maybe I'm just dumb, but it's really hard to figure out like an algorithm that will generate combats of the appropriate difficulty. Right now, it seems like there's a huge variation in how difficult boards are, even if they're the same tier. Upgrade that little guy. Did you know that wyverns take centuries to reach maturation, but still present a deadly threat in juvenile form? That's true. I got it from Wikipedia. All right. Oh, what do I want? We definitely need to add some more player cards. I'm getting bored of the player card selection. We need like at least 10 more or 20 more or 50 more or 5,000 more player cards. Can you imagine if this game had 5,000 cards? Goodness gracious, that would be absolutely nutty. That's definitely not happening. Well, maybe I shouldn't say definitely. Maybe I could AI clone myself and have the AI Firebelly clone make a bunch of art. Okay. Shop time. Same brain cell. Different characters make sense. This is also exciting. I still remember when this game had no map. I know, the map is so good. I like the map. Increase board size. It doesn't really matter. Both of those keys are going to work. 2 Venoms, huh? What do I want? I don't know what tier this is. I definitely need to put like a tier icon somewhere on the events. Or indicate that this is a tier whatever alchemy. I don't know what tier this... Okay, it's a tier 1. Okay. Well, that's kind of a bummer. I guess I can do this. That'll work. Thank you. Might as well purchase an upgrade card here. Only cards of tier 1 or lower can be upgraded here. Ah, oh, son of a biscuit. Okay. So you can see I'm preventing that runaway upgrading by restricting the upgrade capabilities to the tier. Do I feel brave enough to fight the boss right now? I might do that. Let's just fight the boss. A relatively easy boss board, it looks like. I don't have a whole lot of damage output, that's the thing. Oh, but the Gorgon head just paralyzed the boss a little bit. Oh, am I gonna die? No, I should be fine. Yeah, bam. The boss currently gives no currency either. So... yeah, there's a lot of work to do. But I can now visit a lot of these nodes without any notoriety penalty. And now we're into the tier 2, so now we're seeing the Warhorse here. Projects 5 preserved to minion cards to the right. Well, that's not a minion card, so that's fine. Oh, I just did a crit of 30. I kind of feel like I want the telescope, honestly. Let's take the telescope. Alrighty, I can see much farther now. Might as well visit that shop. Let's do this. $19 Alchemortis Battle Pass, yeah. So if you want pay to win, you have to do it the old-fashioned way and bribe the developer. I guess so. Ambush. I think this might be the first time I've seen you wear another color besides black. Yeah, I have to do laundry. Sad. Can I pay to increase my Battle Pass rank? Crazy idea, but why not make every node a combat first? I don't want to do that because I think it's fun to just be able to collect a string of upgrades without fighting. I'm basically borrowing that from the Bazaar, because in the Bazaar, like, you go through like 3 upgrade cycles or 3 upgrade events before you get into a combat with another player's board. And I really like that. I almost died there, but that's all right. Let's use the new tool to create more today, yeah. Love the thematic avoiding combat like real Necromancer trying to lay low, but it doesn't seem to tie in that way mechanically. Hello, Yeet. Welcome back. Hello, Neozoid. Good to see you. The same artifact spawning in the shop feels a little bad. Was there 2 of the same artifact? Oh, in the shop, yeah. Well, it doesn't have to feel bad because they stack. So if I do this, my Skeleton Warrior now has a 60% crit chance, and so does this guy. So I just bought 2 Skull Wands from the shop to get a 40% crit chance increase on top of the 20% I already had. So I think I agree it would feel bad if it's the case that they don't stack, but they do. Can I upgrade? Ooh, can I upgrade this guy again? Yes! That was a beast of a shop. Should probably mention somewhere that it's stackable. I think I'll do the opposite. I will mention when it's unique, but you should assume, like, I'm making the game so that everything is stackable. Like, the question of, like, wait, is this broken? Is this going to work? Should almost always be yes. So, because it doesn't say, right? It just says minion critical chances increased by 20%. So I think a reasonable person, I mean, the first time they play, they're going to be like, wait a minute, does that stack? And then they're going to grab a skull wand and they're going to see that their crit chance goes up to 40%. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, it does stack. But I will definitely mention if I ever have a unique, like the cloak is unique. The cloak just reduces the notoriety penalty of visited nodes to 0. So if you get multiple cloaks, that wouldn't necessarily do anything. Unless I introduce another mechanic where you do extra damage based on the number of artifacts you have or something, and in which case you could get a cloak just to buff up that number, you know what I mean? Even if the 2 cloaks together don't have any effect. Hello, Defined Dottie, welcome back. Why does the mayor have the wench in the windmill? Oh, good question. Yeah, that is a good question. It's an intimidating to-do list, yeah. What were they doing with those beads? Oh no. Must be an issue in the windmill. The node for increasing your health pool, when you click a potion, I think there should be some visual feedback that increase your health pool. Like the liquid flying to your globe or something. Yeah, I agree. There's going to be a lot of extra visual stuff I need to do. It's an alchemy tier 4, but I don't have any boosters. I think I went the wrong way. Maybe I didn't. That's another alchemy tier 4. I want that alchemy, but I just don't. I think what I can do is circle around this way. Or, yeah, let's do this. If I circle around that way, I'll get an upgrade, board size increase, combat booster, then alchemy, then another upgrade. And then I'll have to take that notoriety penalty for visiting that node. But I think that's the way I want to do it. Let's upgrade this one. Perfect. Increase my board size, go to this combat. Oof, that Executioner Sword hits hard. I don't know, I feel like that's putting a lot of faith in the player, but it's your game, you would know better. Yeah, my goal is to be as clear as I can with the language. Like, the language should be in a way that it kind of implies that it's not unique, that it's stackable, but I need ritual cards. Okay, well, we'll go with alchemical. Frog. I think I need to redo the frog art, to be honest. Okay. I wish I had a lead ingot. Let's put all of these together. This is going to deal more damage. But also, no wait, this has crit chance. So I think I'll just take this one. That might have been a bad alchemy output. Let's do this one. There we go. Okay. I'll take this hit. Oh, I didn't really think this through, actually. I'll take this hit, too. I don't want to go that way because I can't make use of that alchemy. Oh, that's a pike. I got $45. Do I go to the shop or the artifact? Let's go to the artifact. Thanks for putting your newest course on sale. Bought it? Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Udemy runs the sale, but I'm glad you bought it. Thank you, Drew. The mayor is stealing the wench's income through taxation on her flower making business. No. If you think about it, the lich is just freeing herself from taxation, or freeing her from taxation. Looks so much better with the longer runtime. Yeah, yeah. Look at that, another skull wand. I have to figure out what happens if you get above a 100% crit chance, but we'll figure that out later. I actually don't know if the second region boss works yet. Let's see what happens. Oh, it just uses the mayor. Okay, that's fine. Jeepers. 12 preserve if there's an adjacent weapon. Oh, there is an adjacent weapon. Oh, no. He's got 600 health. Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh, he's got so much preserve. Oh wait, it should be fine. I'm starting to... Oh, 100? Why is he getting 192? What? Where is all that preserve coming from? Oh, he's healing a bunch too. Oh my gosh. I might lose. Nope, necrosis coming in. Necrosis coming in clutch. Why is he getting so much shielding? Blacksmith tools applied 384 preserve? How in the world? Oh, the blacksmith tools were going crazy. Why is the what? I don't know why that was applying so much preserve. I have no idea. I'm partial to the ones that were my idea, yeah. You can, it can stack, you can say when it did stack and communicate that better. Like people had a hard time understanding what the crit icons are. Oh yeah, that's true. I've just come back. When the stream started, my cat wanted to come in and then I had to stay with him for a bit for him to eat. He has now fell asleep. Awesome. This run you seem to be starving for cards. Yeah, that's true. Do I make your own audio? I have an audio library I use. So no, I don't make my own audio. Above 100%, you can put excess into crit damage, yeah. 668 health, yeah. Do you know what the second boss will be? I don't know. I mean, ideally I want to do like 3 boss cards per region so that each of the checkpoints has a different boss in it. Necrosis dub reminds me of the time I got 3 blacksmith tools. A text filter on the combat log would be nice. Oh, so you can like search it? Is that what you mean? Yeah, that could work. Okay, I think, yeah, there's still a lot of problems with the balancing here that I'm gonna have to work out just by playtesting, but yeah, and then I go into the 3rd region here with the higher tier nodes. So anyway, I'm gonna have to balance all that stuff. I'll probably do that off stream just because it's just gonna be a lot of trial and error basically. Okay, anyway. So there's a couple of things that I really need to do. I do want to make the mouse able to pan the camera. I think that's something that I want to figure out sooner rather than later before I start adding more UI stuff. I also need to do more player cards. I also need to do more player cards. I might write another tool. Create tool to count up each card type for player enemy. All right, so I want to make the mouse able to pan the camera, and then if we have time, I'll work on maybe another player card. So we're going to want to do that. Do I write unit tests for the game logic? Hello, Stefan. I do not, no. First Sergeant, Commandant. Yeah, so I think obvious bosses are like a bishop would be a boss. A king could be a boss. Yeah, like a commander of the army or some kind of lord could be a boss. You know, stuff like that. Oh, I have an idea. I could do a treant for the player card. That would be cool. As a producer, I've used Splice for audio, which has always come in clutch. What is Splice? Let me see. Oh my gosh, I can't search Google in a private window anymore because it makes me do a CAPTCHA every time. Splice Sounds Library. Interesting. How about a cultist card that boosts necrosis? Yeah, that could work. Druidic necromancy would be sick. Yeah, I agree. A shogun as a boss? Yeah, that could work. Yeah. I'm trying to keep everything like Western Europe themed, but I do have an idea like through the shop. Since the shop is obviously a traveler from like faraway lands, the shop could offer on occasion cards that you can't find anywhere else. So it could be like Eastern themed cards, you like either from the Middle East or from like the Far East, you know. I think that would be kind of cool. So if you got like a samurai card from the shop, that'd be kind of cool. I have all the sounds from there, so let me know if you want me to send them to you. I don't know if you can do that. That might be a violation of the license. But thank you for offering. Oni card for the shop. Katana, yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay, anyway, it's a little bit early, but I need a quick break. So I'm gonna try to make this break very quick, and then we'll go and make the mouse pan the camera by clicking. So we're gonna try that. Like a magic lamp or a ruby or something. Yeah, let me actually write these down. I'm just going to do shop card ideas. Oops. Before I forget. Samurai. Ah! Katana. Magic lamp. Ruby. Okay, I'm going to be right back in just a couple minutes and we will continue on. All right, I'm back. My Oni is excluded. Well, I don't know what an Oni is. I'm sorry. Let's look it up. Oh, the demon thing. Yeah, that could work. I'll add it. It's a terrifying dude to work about the palette. Alchemist to the Land of the Rising Sun. It would be really fun to do like an Eastern themed necromancy game for sure. The only problem with Splice is that it could really do with a plan that's like half as much for half the credits. I've never needed even 100 credits per month. Realized I'm now on 2,000. Oh yeah, I am appeased. What mouse button? Just the left click, which might be a little bit of a challenge, but we're gonna see. Did I make any changes here? Oh, just to the project. That's all right. Okay. Now I got to figure out how this even works. So this is the map camera. So the tricky thing is, let's see. Map node clicked. So I think what I'm going to want to do firstly is I need to do this. Clickable control. Might need to change how this click handler works. On GUI input, if is action pressed, click action. I think what I need to do here is private bool click on release. Oh, this is going to be tough, managing the inputs here. If not, click on release and is action pressed, or click on release and is action released. Let's see what that does. Recently set up exactly this, map dragging zooming to mimic the GeoGuessr map dragging. I can send you what I had and start if you want. Well, I don't think, it's not that I don't know how to do click and drag, it's that I don't know how I'm going to make the inputs work with my specific setup. So I appreciate the offer, but most of the effort here is going to be figuring out how to coordinate the mouse events so that I don't, like, if I click and drag, I don't want to accidentally go into a node, you know? What? Did I not just build this? There we go. Click on release. Let's just see what that does. Hey, just joined. How's it going? Going well. How are you doing, Sam Studio? Jump scared by ASMR. What are we doing? We're going to make the map pan with dragging, or with click and drag. Okay. Okay, so that works. So what I was worried about is, like, if I started a click, if I start a click outside and then I release while I'm hovered over it, that doesn't do anything. So I have to start the click on the thing. Oops. That doesn't work either. Do you have like an is hovered? Private bool is hovered. Is it going to be like click and drag, or just hover the mouse in the direction it pans? Click and drag for now, but I could probably add the mouse panning is going to be different than that. Or is hovered. Okay. So on mouse entered is hovered equals true. Is hovered equals false. Let's see what that does. So if I do this, release, that shouldn't do anything. If I do this and I drag over here and I release, that shouldn't do anything. But if I click on that, there we go. Okay, so I think that's part number one. Now I need to figure out how to do the click and drag. Mouse drag start position. If EBT dot is action pressed game constants dot action click left. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare to handle, I think. But let's do mouse drag start position is equal to EVT dot position. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. Returns the mouse's position in the viewport this node is using. The coordinate system is viewport. Okay. Else if evt.is action released. Game constants dot action click left. Mouse drag start position. Oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be very tough managing all these events. Get keyboard pan vec. Is mouse panning. If not, is mouse panning. Mouse drag start position is not equal to null. Is mouse panning is equal to get viewport dot get mouse position dot distance 2 is greater than 4. Let's do that value. Okay. So if the mouse is not panning, we'll return back to 2.0. Otherwise, we're going to return this is going to be difficult. Man, this is going to be hard. Mouse drag start position dot value minus viewport get mouse position. Do I want to do normalized? This is not going to work the way I want it to, but let's just get something working here. Okay. Oh. This whole freaking thing is just a nightmare. I need to break up this script. I have no idea what that's going to do. Let's see. Maybe if left click panning doesn't work as well, you can auto pan the camera. The mouse goes towards the edges of the screen. Yeah, we could do that. Had to check for drag distance thresholds. Yeah, I can do that too. Okay, so that's panning. It's just not working the way that it needs to work. So it almost needs to be, instead of plus equals, I almost need to store the original camera target position. This is a nightmare. This is nuts. This is spaghetti. Camera target position is equal to original camera position plus mouse pan vec. Oh. Okay, it feels a little bit sluggish because of the lerping that's happening, but I think what I want to do is get mouse pan vec. Can I do it'd be better if I had like a state machine for this, but let's just do if is mouse panning clickable coordinator dot disable mouse input. So we'll disable all of the nodes when the panning starts. Probably pull this out into like a reset function, but let's just get it working. And then for the process method here, do lerp is equal to false, or no, yeah. Well, that's not going to work, is it? It needs to not lerp when I'm doing the mouse, so I probably want to split this up separately. Here, well, I could just do this. Map camera. No. Let's see what that does. Could drag with middle mouse button. The problem is things like laptops don't have middle mouse. Okay, that kind of works. Why does it feel laggy? Oh, shoot. That's what I didn't want to happen. Let me look at the monitors though real quick. I feel like my FPS is laggy. It still says 145 FPS. I don't know why it feels laggy here. Maybe if I added some smoothing back in. Well, we'll worry about that later. Are you doing it where both the mouse is clicked and released on a node? It only opens a node and not if it's clicked and dragged away and released somewhere else? Right, yeah. So if I do this and I click on this and I start to drag, I don't want to visit that node when the drag gets released, right? So that's gonna have to be something that happens. And I think what I can maybe do is, I wonder if I could do this in a deferred manner so it's not gonna handle the input. So I'm probably gonna want to do this. Private void reset mouse drag. Callable dot from. Okay, this is ridiculous. You're not helping, Copilot. Stop. Okay. Now the problem, yeah, there's going to be all kinds of problems here. This is nuts. There's going to be all kinds of problems here. But let's see if this works. Okay, so that works because I'm not enabling the mouse input until after the mouse release has been handled. And I think maybe there's a more sophisticated way of handling this as well. Actually, I think the GUI input gets handled first. If is mouse panning get viewport dot set input as handled. Actually, the whole reason I did that is because I wanted to see if I need that call deferred anymore. I think that maybe should work. Let's see. Yeah. So now that I'm handling that mouse event, it's not going to propagate, so I don't need that anymore. Alrighty. So yeah, if I'm dragging with the mouse, I'm not able to use the keyboard, and when I release the mouse, I can use the keyboard. Now what happens if I press, when I press spacebar, let's do this. If I do this, and I start dragging and I press spacebar and I release, that's gonna work, okay. So I should probably not allow recentering the camera while you're dragging with the mouse either. So let's do that. Maybe I don't need that reset mouse drag there anymore. I'm probably going to need to disable... Oh, I had all kinds of errors there. Why did I have errors? Okay, that works. But now I got more errors here. Attempted to remove input lock when none was present. Why is that happening? Oh, because it's calling... Right. Okay, that should work. Just a matter of figuring out all these states. I would probably just... what I'll probably do is create like a map input component that can handle all this. Now the problem here is that I can... Yeah. all this stuff happens now. So now I got to handle the case where that happens, because this is just handling the mouse input globally, but it needs to actually... I might need to do something like... I don't know. I might need to pull out like a canvas layer and make that the input component, and then overlay like a control that stretches across the entire screen, and then handle the input events from that GUI input rather than from... that's not going to work either. I don't know how to handle the order of input, so if I click this, that shouldn't do anything. Why is it detecting the initial mouse click here? That shouldn't happen. This is going to be a nightmare to manage all these inputs. So the game map is here first. Oh, I guess what's probably happening is I'm handling this mouse drag start position. Does this need to be an unhandled input? Let's try that. Wonder if that will fix it. Now I can't click and drag on this though. But I think that should fix this situation, yeah. But I still need to prevent it from being dragged when this is up. I'm gonna need to rework all this stuff. Where's the cat? He's over here. Right mouse button would also work well. I guess the inspector isn't open via right click anymore. My cat is currently batting Firebelly's face each time he moves. Nice. Minus it from the current position. Mom spaghetti, spaghetti code. Could lerp the target position. Lerp the mouse delta separately. That way you have separate smoothing for both the panning and the normal camera target. Oh, that's true. Wish you could turn off the multi-line suggestion copilot. Apparently you can in JetBrains Writer, but not VS Code. Interesting. It's either very helpful or completely useless, yeah. Why do I use VS Code instead of the editor of Godot? Because Godot does not have C# features. Yeah. Not paying too much attention, but slap a state machine on it. Yeah, the flex tape of game code. I just need a more sensible way of managing all my inputs, specifically my mouse inputs. Also, when this is up, I don't know why this is still able to be clicked. I thought I was... Hold on a second. This mouse filter is pass. Does that need to be pass? Can I make this stop? Why was that pass? So this should stop all mouse inputs now. What? Hello, Denny FPS. I don't know if it said hello. Hello, Polaris. Welcome back. Oh, that's cool, Matt. That's very cool. Gotta like this when you can find your ones, yeah. Would not be easier to just use a global is mouse down event check if Godot has that kind of thing, rather than detecting it over a certain area? No, global state is going to make it even more spaghettified. If I were to do global state, then I would create like a global input handler, which may not be a bad idea, but I'd rather just use the event propagation that Godot has built in and control that in the proper way. I almost wonder, let's see. We're gonna make this drawer UI. This is ignore. Dimmer rect. Stop. Board pass through control. Ignore. We're gonna make that stop instead. I'm going to change this to behavior recursive enabled. I'm undoing all these mouse changes here. This is a nightmare. Does that fix anything? More importantly, does that break anything? I can't click on this now. What the heck, man? I really don't know how I'm going to manage this. This is a nightmare and a half. Why is there like a region here that I can move the mouse, but move the map? Okay, something's weird here. Yeah, it wouldn't work for overlaying elements, yeah. The other day I commented that I thought it was cool that your last game jam, the sprite is empty and then it gains power, something like that the pixel art fills up as if it were fill. Want to do this on a pumpkin sprite, what can I research to achieve this? I don't know what you're referring to. Matthias, are you talking about the highlighting of those like little cells in the ritual loop thing from my game jam entry? I think it was the sprite of a altar, then it filled up and the sprite took shape. Oh, I don't recall that. Like a progress bar? Well, the way I did the progress bar in Retro Mortis is I just had a separate sprite that was the light up color, and then I just used a shader to draw the UV or draw the sprite or not based on the UV. So I had a progress value from 0 to 1, and I just basically said, if the UV value is less than the progress value, then draw the sprite, otherwise draw transparent. And so as progress approaches 1, it draws more and more of the sprite based on its UV. You could do like traditional progress bars in Godot. You don't need to do a shader, but that's how I did it. Experiencing lack of productivity and motivation in making a game for a game jam. Yeah, that can happen. That can definitely happen. I've dealt with zero UI in Godot yet, but with the new cursive overrides helping anyway. That's what I thought. I think what I need to do is I need to like do an audit of how my UI is working. The other thing that's kind of, I think, maybe affecting it is that I've got a bunch of canvas layers too. So like the game map is not on a canvas layer, but the game UI is on a canvas layer, the drawer UI is on a canvas layer, so I don't know to what extent that is affecting the inputs. Like, I don't know if UI events will propagate to other UIs on separate canvas layers. Yeah, I almost think I just need to... Well, let me try this. I actually don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna give up. Let's put this on a different branch. This is something that I'm gonna need to sit with for hours to figure out. I'm gonna need, like, and I literally mean that it's probably gonna take me like 3 hours to rework everything to get it to work sensibly. So we're not gonna do that right now. let's see if we can start work on another player card instead. I feel like I don't have any like killer player card ideas either. I mean, a bone dragon would be cool. I'm just not ready to draw that. I can barely draw a dragon as it is. An idol would be cool. Ouroboros, gold, some kind of random alchemy output aberration, golems, gargoyles. A wisp is going to be hard to do, but I could maybe do that. Tomes, bone necklace. Cultist would be cool. Could do a cultist. I like the tree ant idea too. Idol. I'll try to look for something related to Godot progress bar shader. Yeah, you're welcome. Audit on Alchemortis, yeah. Sometimes I think too much. Yeah, you could just, yeah, that would work. What's the issue of trying to solve? Just getting the mouse input events to work in a sensible, hierarchical way. Sounds like a problem for Future Belly, yeah. Making a new player card is going to be the excuse for I'll fix it later. Yeah, I mean, I'll do it this afternoon. It's going to take a while. That's all. Maggots with Swarm would be cool. Oh, yeah. Aqua Regia. I forgot what that means. Have you considered making cards that use up your current blood currency yet for attacks? Or is this already a thing? I've not considered that. That could be an interesting thing. What about work on more enemy upgrade ideas? The game is not hard enough. And what about meta progression? Yeah, I know the game's not hard enough. I still, again, that's going to be something that's just going to take hours. It's not, you know, something I can do in a half hour is fix the enemy stuff. That's going to be an iterative process. Something that I'm working on. And meta progression is something that's going to come much later in development. K-pop idol, yeah. Cards that do more damage the less health you have. Okay. So, I mean, that could be a cultist. Let's do the cultist. That sounds cool. What? Okay. We have to figure out what kind of shape do we want for the cultist. Do I have a tall card? I don't think I have a tall card. We could do a tall, wide card. We could do a card of this shape. Like the Scarecrow. That might be a cool one, actually. Let's do this. All right, let's see what happens. Thank you, Nexialist Games, the concept and color palette rule. Thank you, appreciate that. Thanks for the wish list. Hello, Vishal. Watched your podcast. It was really insightful. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. How'd you come up with a game idea mechanic concept that's good and can kind of develop itself? Recently, I'm feeling like I'm forcing stuff with my games. Well, a lot of it is... I mean, a lot of it is just kind of like luck. I know that's not a great answer, but... I mean, I've always been, like, with Gunforged and with even games like Swordslinger and now this game, I've always been sort of fascinated by the idea that players can chain things together. So, like, basically I kind of see my role as building up a bunch of systems and then letting the player chain those systems together in the way that they want. And I think I did that pretty well in Gunforged, but I think that that's really the crux of Alchemortis, is I'm basically saying, here's an auto-battler system. Here's how all the cards, you know, they have abilities. And by the way, you can use the alchemy system to mix all the abilities together. And what that does is that just unlocks this whole, like, it's not specifically planned, but it's like this whole emergent gameplay of like players can create their own cards essentially. and create combos that I, as the developer, didn't explicitly set out to create. I mean, yeah, there's stuff that synergizes together, right? But, you know, through players mixing cards and combining abilities onto cards and turning them into different shapes and whatnot, it kind of just creates a lot of emergent gameplay, a lot of emergent problem solving and strategic thinking. And that all comes as a result of me just building the core systems to enable that. So I think, you know, at this point, there's not a whole lot of directed development. I don't know if that's the way to say it. Like, I'm not saying, okay, this is a synergy that I want the player to use. I'm just adding a bunch of tools to the toolbox for the player and then letting them use those tools in a way that they see fit. And that's kind of how I'm approaching this game, at least, is like every new artifact I do, every new card I do is mostly a question of like, is this a tool that can be useful for the player? You know, thought you set up your card tool to create the A-Sprite files for you. Not yet, no. Just resources and C# files, yeah. Just resources and C# files. Okay, cultist. Oh my gosh, let's see if I can do this. That guy's gonna have very long arms. I'm just gonna doodle this up real quick. How am I going to do this? That kind of works. I'll have to play around with the shapes of these things, but I think, generally speaking, it's all right. I'm not really sure about this arm over here. Oops. Gee, dang it. Something like that. I don't know. What cult are they in? The cult of the salamander. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe the flavor text will allude to something like that. Okay. Gotta give the cultist like a rope belt or something, you know what I mean? I don't know if I should go with the black outline all the way down. Oh, maybe that'll work. That'll work. I know I can hear the old Age of Empires monk saying Wololo. I don't think I've played, I mean, I get the reference, but I have not played the old Age of Empires. I played a lot of Age of Mythology, which is roughly the same kind of game, if I remember correctly. Now, should the cultist have like skeletal fingers? I still need some room for the hands. Maybe I'll just cheat. Or if I should flip this. I wonder if I should do... Hold on a second. I'm trying to... Oh, let's see. I almost want to do like a bend. I don't want to have to redo this, but I might have to. Let's see. This is too long over here. I think I can make this work. Yeah, I think I can make it work. Let's just try to make this work. I don't know if that's going to look right. No. Okay. Now the bottom here, I have no idea how I'm going to do this one. I mean, I could just keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid, you know? Something like that is probably good enough. Now I could also maybe experiment with doing a black outline there, although I don't think that probably looks right. No. Do I want to put eyes in here? The eyes are kind of cool. Okay. That looks all right. Easter egg if you put a lamb card next to him. Yeah, looks great. You like it, Pigeon? Thank you. I'm sad we couldn't see the stream start today. Oh, yeah. This cloaked guy looks like he's having a bad time. Wow, he's a cultist. Is he getting a dagger? No, he's just going to have that little rope belt. 100% keep the eyes. You like it? Okay. That looks good. Thank you, V. So I think we're basically done here. I'm just going to try to improve the quality of the hands here. Just a little bit at least. All right, I don't know. Do I want to try to add like highlights, or is this going to be too much? Might not be too much. Let's see. I don't like those there, though. Just a couple of highlights here and there. I think that's fine. Don't want to overdo it. Dude is seriously cool looking. Thank you. I guess I ate my Wheaties this morning. Are you using reference to help you drawing pixel art characters? No, I try not to use references. I didn't use a reference for this character at all. And the reason I do that, you know, a lot of people bring that up. I will use references sometimes. Like sometimes if I'm very stuck, I will use a reference and I'll look at that, especially when it comes to drawing like horses and their, I almost said a bad word, and their dang left legs, their rear legs. But I try not to use references. The reason is because I feel like I learn better when I can struggle through something a little bit, hit a wall, and just keep working through it. I can figure things out by trial and error. Well, let me put it this way. When I figure things out by trial and error, I learn the lesson better than if I look at a reference and try to draw what I'm seeing. So usually I'll pull in a reference after I've struggled for a while and I'm just stuck. But for the most part, I try not to use references. And that's not just because like, oh, wow, I'm so good at art. It's because I'm trying to learn as fast as possible. And that's one of the ways that I do it. I kind of feel like there maybe needs to be... I mean, maybe not. I might do... I mean, that kind of looks... I just don't want to overdo it. Okay, that's fine. We're just going to do quit while I'm ahead. He said the line, everybody. He said the line. Quit while I'm ahead. Okay. There's our cultist. Export. I'm just going to commit that art first. Thank you, Rin. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Seems like a bad way to spend Easter, though. Maybe I should... Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is in that position for sure. But, you know, I think it's just a generic, like, ritual position. Okay. Menacing T-pose. Yeah, seriously. So card creation tool. So this is my little creation tool. I can do cultist here. Create. And now we should have the cultist resource here. It's already got the display name filled. I can just quick load here. Cultist. So the dimensions here, this is 3 by 2 with excluded cells of 0 and 1 and 2 and 1, right? 0, 1, 2, 1. And that's a 3 by 2, yeah. Turn cooldown. Let's do 9. Use enemy node tags. This is a minion and a ritual item. Critical chance. We don't care about the notoriety regions. Okay, so there's our cultist. And then I should have the cultist script now here. There's my script. And now we can figure out... So what was the ability? Hold on a second. Somebody... Oh, maybe that was a while ago. Oh, it was necrotic damage. I don't know if I want to have cards that modify necrotic damage, but let's figure out an ability for the cultist. Menacing T-pose. The black outline really adds that last bit of pop. It looks really cool. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's going to look like this when it's on the card. So you can't really see the black outline, but the black outline is necessary because there are some card effects that can happen behind the art. And so that just needs to be... you know, whatever. It needs to be there to separate the art from whatever background effects are being played. Needs a Monty Python Spanish Inquisition Easter egg with this guy. Yeah. Why don't you make the tool load the sprite for you? I could. I guess what I didn't want to make the tool with the assumption that the art already exists in case I wanted to run the tool first. But I suppose I could do it conditionally, right? I could check and see, is there a sprite? Actually, you know what I could do? All of these art match the ID of the card anyway, so I could actually just remove this art property and just dynamically load the art for each card on load instead of defining it. So there's a couple of ways I could do it, but yeah, definitely could add have the tool load the art if it exists. Cultists are generally empowered by other cultists or leader, maybe swarm or adjacent bonus for all other cultists. Yeah. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Thank you, Define Dottie. Yeah. So now we need an ability for this. So, I mean, it's a ritual card, the cultist. So maybe something to do with ritual. Do we want to make the cultist do fire damage? There's not a whole lot of fire damage the player has. We could also make the cultist do poison. Oh, I think one thing I was thinking is the cultist could deal damage based on how much health you have. Or we could even make the cultist apply some self-damage. We could have the cultist... we could have the cultist apply fire based on other ritual cards and also apply self-damage based on other ritual cards. We could do... We could do something interesting. I don't know if this would work, but... No, that wouldn't work. We could do something interesting like this. It could be... It deals damage equal to the healing received, or equal to some multiplier of the healing received, and then also does self-damage equal to the healing received. So basically, like, if you've got a heal build and you heal, 30 before the cultist goes, the cultist will deal 30 damage to the enemy and also, like, undo all the healing that you did and deal 30 damage to you. So it could be like a life sacrifice kind of deal. It could be like a healing build complement. You could convert some of your healing to damage that way. All right, thanks V. Good to have you here as always, and have a good day. Could the cultist have the cultist exhaust to imply that they serve their use? Yeah, that's true. Apply a little burn to himself. Apply a lot to the enemy. Oh, that's a good one. Probably would be a pain to implement, but could maybe influence a random enemy card to damage its own bard instead. That is a thing that I want to do. That is a thing that I want to do. Scale based on adjacent ritual cards would be nice since he's an odd shape. Right, yeah. Persuading you to join your own cult. There's a lot of good ideas here. Shoot. Now so do we do fire? Do we do some kind of heal? Do we scale off of ritual cards? What if you have different color cultists that do different things? Red, fire, green, heal. That could work, yeah. Different cult types, the fire one, the poison one. Yeah, that's okay. That's a good idea. Do you have any cards that give positive and a negative yet? I do, but I don't know if it's that common. So I'm thinking maybe we'll go with fire for this one, but I do want to make it scale maybe off of healing. So I'm thinking what we could do is something interesting, like it applies. Yeah, what about this? The cultist applies fire equal to healing received. It applies fire to both the enemy and you equal to healing received. How does that sound? Or is that too complicated? So basically, like, yeah, you receive 20 healing since the last time it executed. It applies 20 fire to the enemy and also 20 fire to you. So it's just like an agent of chaos. We could also do percent damage too. So like we could do something like deals, 20% of your current health, and then applies fire equal to that amount. Chaos is always fun. That might be an interesting one. So yeah, if he deals 20% percent of your current health is damage to you, and then converts that damage to fire or something. That could be interesting, because then he gets weaker as you get weaker, but if you can keep your health topped off, then he's going to continue to output a lot of DPS. So are we talking the healing one or the self-damage one? I mean, both instances are self-damage. I'm just thinking it might be cool to have some healing synergies that are, you know, more offensive oriented. So the whole reason that you're building up heal is to increase your DPS. So like if you're going to recruit a cultist, they're going to be a bit volatile. Yeah. So different cultists all scale with heal, but do a different effect. That could work. Yeah. Someone might have already said it, but it could also depend on the number of cards in your enemy board. Yeah. I don't want to make it too complicated, but I think maybe we could make it scale off of cards. So we could make it, instead of it being based on the amount of healing, it could be based on the number of cards that apply healing that are adjacent to it. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make it based on the healing items that are adjacent to it. Okay. To do. Apply fire to self and enemy based on adjacent healing items. Because that kind of synergy makes sense too, because then you're going to want to buff your healing items so that you can out-heal the damage that you're going to be dealing to yourself. I think that makes sense, yeah. So it's not like going to be equal to the healing applied, it's going to scale off of the healing items that are adjacent. Okay, let's do that. That sounds good. So we're going to write up that script, but I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break again. And when I come back, we'll go for another, probably going to take roughly 15 minutes to a half hour to get this built and tested and all that stuff. So we'll do that. And then, yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, thanks for joining, Rin. Appreciate that. Have a good night and hope to see you in the next one. Totally new playstyle, yeah. Plague Doctor when? That's a great point. I was going to maybe not do a Plague Doctor. I mean, I could do both. I could do a Plague Doctor and a Plague Mask. There's no reason. I was thinking Plague Mask. I just didn't write it down. Plague Doctor. Okay, give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back, and we will continue on. All right, let's get this card built. I was thinking Plague Mask first, whichever. Yeah, I mean, I can do both. There's no reason, like, I can't have a Plague Mask just because there's a Plague Doctor. It might actually be cool to have both and, like, make them lightly synergize with each other. Not maybe explicitly, but have abilities that are similar to each other so you can get, like, a Plague build going or something. You could have a bare bones character card that does base damage, but it gets more powerful if you match it with its dedicated equipment clothing. Could work well with the Plague Doctor, actually. Yeah. You know what would actually be kind of cool? Like a multi-arm abomination that scales with adjacent weapon cards. Something like that, right? So you've got, like, I mean, you think of like the Elden Ring monster, the tutorial monster that you fight first. It's got like multiple arms all grafted to it. Could definitely, let's like borrow that design to some extent and then have it scale off of weapons. For example, if we pair up the Plague Doc, yeah. What card are we making? We are going to put the Cultist in the game. Hello, Pragyan. Welcome. Good to see you again. Okay, so apply fire to self and enemy based on adjacent healing items. Okay, so how are we going to do this? That's a good question. Var composed is equal to new composed ability. Okay, so we're going to need a heal. So var heal is equal to new heal. Var dynamic heal is equal to new dynamic, or no, fire is equal to new fire. Dynamic heal is equal to new, no. Dynamic magnitude ability. We need a value provider and a target ability, so we're just going to do this. Okay, we're going to need now to do this. Oh my gosh. Var, let's just do this for now. Query count provider is equal to new query count provider. Query count provider. Count function dot query options dot query directions is equal to query direction board inventory component dot query directions dot adjacent query count provider dot count function is equal to, well, I want to filter. How do I do a custom filter? Let me look at the wench. Adjacent scaled heal, custom filter. Oh, I can just put a custom filter on it. Okay. Custom filter. Query options. Dot custom filter is equal to card. Has ability of type. Yeah. Has ability of type. Heal. Okay. Then we need a value scaler. Var value scaler is equal to new value scaler. I ability value provider source provider. Query count provider. Value scaler dot set multiplier. Let's do, it's a relatively big card, so maybe we'll do 5. Okay. Then we've got the dynamic fire. We're going to put the value scaler in there. And then probably going to need a var self fire is equal to new fire. Private bool target self. I think that's how I do the damage, right? Yeah. This dot target self equals target self. Okay, target board is equal to target self question mark execution context dot source board, otherwise target board. It's that simple, folks. It's that simple. So target self here, var dynamic self fire is equal to new dynamic magnitude abilities value scalar self fire. Return ability builder dot ability configuration. This is new ability configuration. Abilities is equal to query count provider, dynamic fire and dynamic self fire. What? Scaling func is equal to tier. Scalar is equal to ability scalars dot make additive scalar 2. Let's do this. Const int base fire is equal to 5. Base fire base fire I think that's all I need to do. No, wait. No, that's not right. I need to do value scalar dot set multiplier magnitude. Okay. Description function, magnitude get multiplier. Okay. Apply magnitude fire to both enemy and self per adjacent. How did I word this with the wench here? Oh. Per adjacent. Let's do this. Apply magnitude fire to both enemy and self per adjacent card with heal. I think that's right. I think that's the card. I think that's it. Let's see what happens. Test player cards. Let's do cultist, and then let's do. I don't know. I don't even know what player cards have healing. What player cards have healing? Why am I not remembering this? I mean, Leech has healing. Syringe has healing. Do I not have just like a raw healing thing? Do I not have like raw healing on the... I thought I did, right? Oh, the lamb bone ring, right. Lamb bone ring. The ring slash bracelet thing, yeah. Lamb bone ring. Okay. I think that's good. That cultist turned out pretty cool. Thank you, Meep. Another of my ideas is in the game, yeah. Mirror card doesn't do direct damage, but it has a set % chance to rebound an enemy card attack back at them. Yeah, that's a good one. Hello, Richo. I'm from the United States, Ohio specifically. Hello, Schlurgy. I'm here for the final few minutes. Word with all the braces is always a little goofy to look at. Yeah, it is kind of goofy, but... Okay, so here's our cultist. Apply 5 fire to both... What? No. Yeah, the Caduceus is still on the to-do list. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so if I put the cultist here, put that there, So it's definitely recognizing all those as having heals. So this should do 10 fire. That cultist looks pretty good in game, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. All right, let's see if it does it. Yep, it just worked. It applied 10 fire to both player and enemy. And the healing kind of undoes that damage, but it's still, you know, you're still taking damage. Very cool. So now we're going to want to upgrade the cultist to make sure that it works. Oh, I'm getting freaking stomped. Is this not working? Applies 4 preserve. Preserved is double. Why is it applying so much preserve? I think there's a bug. Blacksmith tools applied 64 preserve. That's definitely not working. We're gonna have to fix that. Tag adjacent shield. Oh, does this need to be... Right. It's because this is wrong. This needs to be get base magnitude. So the hammer was broken. All right. Anyway, let's see if we can actually... Let's see if we can actually upgrade this. So I should see 7 fire per healing ability now. Get on the board there, son. Bam. Apply 7 fire to all. Look at that. All right. I think some sort of card or artifact that affects necrosis would be cool for preserve heal builds. Yeah, absolutely. It does look cool in the game. So I need the flavor text. But I'll do that off stream. So let me write that down. Cultist. Add cultist ability. And then fix hammer bug. Cool. All right, well, that's going to be it for the stream. Thank you, everyone, for watching. That ability was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, but that's good. I think the new ability composition system just makes a lot more sense. It saves a lot of time, and it's just easier to just write everything out like this. So, yeah, anyway, that's it for the stream. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Very much appreciate it. For grid-based stuff, is it better to have my placeable objects as part of the tile map layer or as node 2Ds aligned to the grid? I'm doing node 2Ds aligned to the grid. I think it would be hard to make them tiles themselves. I definitely use the tile map layer to handle the snapping functionality, but yeah, all of my cards are separate node 2Ds that are just snapped to the grid visually speaking. So also, as a Britisher, I'm now legally obliged to retrieve 12 bags of high quality Yorkshire tea for you after you insulted the British nation the other day. Uh-oh. I will dump it in the Boston Harbor. How's that sound? How about an artifact called Ancient Slumber that boosts necrosis? The idea would be that sleep is close to death, so it's farming necromantic energy. Okay, I hear you, I hear you. Anyway, that's it for the stream. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you all tomorrow. I'll be streaming again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, so I hope to see you there. Again, check out Alchemortis. It's linked in the description below. And if you're interested in financially supporting the project, I also have my Patreon linked below. And of course, you could join the Discord too. If you play the Alchemortis playtest, which is public for everyone, definitely leave me some feedback in the Discord. But yeah, check out all the links below. That's all the ways you can support me. Hope to see you in the Discord, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.